Pressure does not change you, pressure exposes you, pressure removes performance masks, pressure strips comfort, pressure deletes illusion. When everything feels easy, anyone looks composed. When resistance increases, truth appears. That is why pressure matters. Pressure is diagnostic. Pressure shows you who you are when convenience disappears. When you grip the bar and the weight feels heavy, there is no pretending. Your preparation speaks, your conditioning speaks, your discipline speaks. Under strain, your habits become visible. Not your promises, not your plans, your habits. Pressure is a spotlight. Pressure shines directly on weak preparation. Pressure magnifies hesitation. Pressure amplifies instability. If your foundation is fragile, pressure cracks it instantly. Most people chase comfort. Comfort hides weakness. Pressure exposes it. Exposure feels uncomfortable, but it is necessary. Because without exposure, improvement is impossible. You do not grow in comfort, you grow in confrontation. When you step into a heavy set, your breathing changes, your muscles tense, your pulse rises, your body enters a stress response. What happens next reveals everything. Do you rush? Do you panic? Do you shorten the range? Do you break form? Or do you stay steady? Pressure reveals control. Control reveals preparation. Preparation reveals seriousness. Seriousness reveals identity. Identity defines trajectory. Pressure is not an enemy. It is a measurement tool. It measures depth. It measures stability. It measures resilience. If you collapse under small difficulty, larger challenges will overwhelm you. You cannot demand large results with small tolerance. Tolerance expands through exposure. Exposure requires intensity. Intensity must be deliberate. When you train beyond comfort, you strengthen capacity. Capacity determines durability. Durability determines longevity. Longevity determines mastery. Mastery determines influence. Influence determines position. Position determines freedom. All of it begins with how you behave under pressure. Pressure is not optional. Life increases pressure automatically. Deadlines appear, expectations rise, standards elevate, competition tightens. If your internal structure cannot hold weight, you will fold. Folding becomes habit. Habit becomes pattern. Pattern becomes identity. Identity becomes limitation. Pressure is not random. Pressure scales with ambition. The higher you aim, the more weight you carry. If you want high ground, you must carry heavier load. You cannot rise without resistance. Resistance is the gateway. The difference between average and elite is reaction under strain. Average individuals rush. Elite individuals regulate. Regulation requires awareness. Awareness requires calm breathing. Calm breathing maintains focus. Focus maintains technique. Technique preserves power. Power maintains stability. Stability allows repetition. Repetition builds strength. Strength increases capacity. Capacity attracts opportunity. Opportunity increases pressure. The cycle continues. So your task is not to avoid pressure. It is to build capacity for it. During training, your body adapts only when challenged. If the weight is light, adaptation is minimal. If the weight is heavy, adaptation is forced. Pressure forces adaptation. That is its purpose. But adaptation happens only if you stay engaged. If you escape pressure, adaptation stops. Escaping becomes reflex. Reflex becomes weakness. Weakness becomes a ceiling. Ceilings restrict growth. You remain where you are. Pressure is an invitation to upgrade, an invitation to expand, an invitation to refine control. When your muscles shake, that shaking reveals stability level. When your breathing becomes erratic, that reveals conditioning level. When your mind floods with doubt, that reveals preparation level. Pressure is honest. It does not flatter. It does not lie. Pressure exposes, and exposure is valuable because once exposed, weakness can be trained. You cannot train what you refuse to see. Most people hide from pressure. They choose environments that do not challenge them. They avoid heavy tasks. They avoid difficult conversations. They avoid uncomfortable growth. Avoidance delays exposure. Delayed exposure magnifies weakness later. The longer you avoid pressure, the more fragile you become. Fragility collapses under sudden demand. Strength absorbs it. Absorption creates confidence. Confidence stabilizes response. Stable response maintains performance. Performance builds momentum. Momentum builds authority. Authority builds expansion. Expansion builds dominance. Pressure reveals whether your confidence is real or theatrical. Real confidence breathes slow under strain. Theatrical confidence disappears when intensity rises. You cannot fake composure under heavy load. Your nervous system betrays you unless you train your nervous system. Training under controlled intensity increases threshold. Threshold determines how much stress you can carry without losing clarity. Clarity preserves decision making. Decision making preserves direction. Direction preserves trajectory. Trajectory defines your position. If pressure disrupts clarity, your decisions degrade. Degraded decisions reduce outcomes. Reduced outcomes weaken belief. Weakened belief shrinks ambition. Shrunken ambition limits growth. Make sure the mission is clear. Expose yourself to pressure deliberately. Lift heavier, move harder, push further, not recklessly, deliberately. Controlled intensity, slow breathing, tight form, clear mind. That combination builds pressure tolerance. Pressure tolerance creates advantage. When others panic, you stabilize. When others rush, you maintain tempo. When others overreact, you stay centered. Centered behavior intimidates competition because most people lose control under stress. Control under stress builds respect. Respect builds influence. Influence builds leverage. Leverage builds power. Power expands opportunity. Opportunity increases responsibility. Responsibility increases pressure again. The cycle repeats. If you want to lead, you must endure. If you want to endure, you must train under strain. Not occasionally, consistently. Consistent exposure increases capacity gradually. Gradual increase prevents collapse. Collapse occurs when demand exceeds capacity. So increase capacity ahead of demand. Train harder than necessary. Prepare beyond expectation. Build margin. Margin is safety. Safety allows risk. Risk creates expansion. Expansion creates dominance. Pressure also reveals ego. Under strain, ego screams. Ego wants validation. Ego wants applause. But real strength is quiet. Quiet focus. Quiet breathing. Quiet consistency. Silence under pressure signals control. Noise signals insecurity. Insecurity under stress weakens presence. Presence influences outcomes. Influence shapes perception. Perception shapes opportunity. So cultivate silent strength. When the weight feels crushing, reduce internal talk. Just breathe, lift, complete. Under pressure, simplicity wins. Consistency wins. Complex thinking collapses. Return to basics. Grip, stance, breathe, drive, complete, repeat. That rhythm builds resilience. Resilience builds durability. Durability builds career longevity. Longevity builds expertise. Expertise builds advantage. Advantage builds freedom. Freedom comes from strength under pressure. If pressure reveals weakness today, that is useful. Pressure shows you what to train. Pressure shows you what to reinforce. It shows what to strengthen. Do not resent exposure to pressure. Use the pressure, analyze it, improve it, then re-enter stronger. Each exposure increases tolerance. Tolerance increases capability. Capability increases opportunity. Opportunity increases scale. Scale increases impact. Impact defines legacy. Pressure is not the obstacle. Pressure is the filter. It filters out the unprepared. It filters out the unstable. It filters out the inconsistent. Remain even after the filtering. Be the one who stays steady. When weight increases, you increase your control. When demand increases, you increase focus. When expectation increases, you increase discipline, because pressure does not change you. Pressure reveals the structure already exists inside you. Build that structure strong. Train under strain. Refine it consistently. When intensity rises, do not panic. You perform. Pressure reveals you.